Good evening, good evening. My name is Kwabena. Welcome to today. I want to share with you Champion's Mind. Champion's Mind. The mind that wins. The battles of life are heavy, and winning in life is not for the weak. Winning in your career, winning in your business, winning in your family, winning in anything that you set for yourself is not for the weak-minded. And a lot of people have been trained to be sober, to be calm, to be quiet, not to go for any trouble, and yet they want to win. And that, for me, doesn't work out. And so some of the things that you would have to just accept, the fact of life is that life is tough. Life is not for the weak-minded, and it's not like if you're weak and you're sober and you're calm and you just stay somewhere, life will not throw anything at you. Life will still throw a lot of troubles at you, even if you don't want trouble. So sometimes you meet people and they worry about their career, they worry about the money that they don't have, they worry about the difficulties that they have in the family, they worry about the difficulties that they have with their businesses, in their marriages, and they let these problems overcome them. They overcome them so much that you can see that there's no life in them. They are beaten. It's because of the mind that they have developed, or the mind that they were trained with, the mind that they were conditioned with. And the battles of life are won in the mind. And winning in this life, in anything that you set out to do, is not for the weak-minded. It's not for the one who thinks that he's a victim and that life is very unfair. If you think like that, you'll be beaten for a very long time. And so the champion's mind. How do champions think? Go and study those who have been champions in businesses, in politics, in science research, in sports, in boxing, footballers, those who have won, and look at how they think. They don't think that they are victim. They think that they have the tools, they have the talent, they have the psyche, they have the required training to win, and that's why they win. And the same approach that we can use to face life. Sometimes you meet some people, and after talking to them, you feel miserable yourself, because little things become so much important to them. They don't have money to eat, to buy food to eat, and therefore that becomes a major concern for them. And for me, if you carry that kind of mind, there's so much that you cannot accomplish in this life, because life is tough, and it's tough only for the weak-minded. So we are brought up the way we were brought up, or the way we are brought up has a way of how we tend to think in this life. And most people were brought up to look at situations that appear to be difficult, that appear to be impossible, and they feel like, okay, then I can do anything about it. So let's say you have finished school, you're looking for a job, you're not getting the job, and you become so much disturbed, despondent, worried, and when you meet people, that's the number one agenda that you're discussing. You have a weak mind, you have a victim's mind. You think that somebody should help you. You think that your situation is so difficult. If you have that kind of thinking, life will be tough for you. If you have troubles in your businesses and you are the one who is when you meet people, you are talking about it, what did you expect? Business is tough. It's not for the weak-minded. So you can only win in anything when you develop the mind to fight back, to know that you are equipped to deliver, you're equipped to fight, you're equipped to win. And so if you can't reorientate your mind to think as a champion, life will beat you. And life beats a lot of people like that, because they were trained and they were taught to feel like they are nothing, they can't take anything. Sometimes I think about some of the things that the great men in history endured, and you could see that they did not think as the average person. They thought like the situation that they were confronted with, they had what it takes to overcome. and that is what champions think about. So poverty and lack have a way, they have a way of eating out the esteem of people. Some cultures have a way of making people sober and feel like they are nothing, and that makes people not to think as champions. If you came from a background where there's a lot of lack, there was a lot of lack, you were told what you could not do all the time. You were told what you didn't have all the time. You were told that you were not like the other family. That thing can cripple your mind even when you grow. And so you look at life from the point of view of not having, not qualified, a victim. You have to wait for another person. You have to wait for help. If you have that kind of background, you cannot win in life taking that forward. So you have to switch that to say that yes, my family may have been poor, my parents may have not had anything, but I want to look at life from a different point, and I want to look at life as from the point of view of a boundary I start out to do. I can fight for that which is due me. Life is for those who can fight, those who can push forward, those who can turn the fire around. So if you have that poverty background, if you have that lack background, and you don't change that, you don't think, if you don't start to think as one in charge of your life, as one who is not a victim, life will be tough. You'll be the one who complaining all the time. You'll be the one always not having anything. When you were a small boy, you didn't have anything. Now that you are 30 years, you're still talking as if you are nothing. That is a weak man's way of looking at life. And those who win in this life, just as the sportsmen, just as the fighters, just as the boxers, just as the footballers, they don't think like they don't have what it takes to win. So if you're going to win in this life, you have got to develop that strength of mind to think as a champion, to develop that psyche to say that I am ready to win. And that's why champions are always winning, because they think like that. They don't think like they are victims. So they expect to win. Champions expect to win. They expect to win in whatever that they set out to do, whatever that they are part of. They believe that they will be the one who will take the trophy. That is how champions think. And champions, if you look at them, they don't feel like they are incapable. They don't feel like they don't have what it takes. They believe that they have the talent. They believe that they have the privilege. They believe that they are the best thing that ever happened. So when you meet them, you see the words that they use. They use win. They use words like take over. They win like champions. They use words that establish their psyche. And when you meet the other one who thinks that they are a victim, they use words that crumble or that cripple their spirit, that make them bow to problems. So if you're going to win, you have to have that kind of psyche. You have to have that psyche. They believe in themselves. They believe in their psyche. They believe in their talent. They believe in the gift that they have. Champions don't think like they don't have anything. They believe that they have what it takes to win. And so if somebody wants to beat you, they will turn the way you look at your life. They will turn the way you see yourself and make you feel like you have nothing. They will make you feel like you're a victim. They make you feel like you can't match. You can't live up to standard. The moment they're able to tune that to you, the moment they're able to tell you that and you believe it, they will win you. So they attack your esteem, the issues of life, even our background, the difficulties, the lack, the problems that we grew up with. Their main focus was to take that thing from you, so that when you grow up, you will not be able to fight back and win. So you cannot win in this life thinking like a victim. You can only win in this life when you believe that you have what it takes to fight. And so whatever they give you to do, if you go in knowing that you are capable to solve issues, you are the one in charge. You're not a victim. You are not the one that you have to go there and complain and feel like you have nothing. You will win everywhere that they put you. If you have that, you take care of the environment. You become the one who's in charge. And it's coming first from the mind. The mind. So champions celebrate others. They are not the ones looking to pull others down. Have you ever seen this picture where they drop some people helping people to climb a tree, and they make some black people, and they, instead of them helping the other to climb the tree, it may be funny, and Africans usually use that a lot on themselves, which is wrong, and then they use the other ones who have different color helping themselves. and the Africans are dropping their other brother. They are not helping him. Or they put crabs and they say that Africans are like crab in the bowl, that they don't want any other to jump. That for me is the meaning. That's a victim's mind. How do you classify a whole group of people to say that they all like this? How could we all be like that? Don't we have Africans who help others? There are champions who are Africans who are very much interested in helping others to succeed. Even if they are many, even if they are not many, it cannot be a fact that every one of us is trying to pull everybody down. So champions help people to go forward. They are not the ones trying to compete and feel jealous of another person succeeding. Champions celebrate the victories of other champions. They look into what methods that somebody used to win. They look at the strategies that somebody used to win, and they study that, and they celebrate others. So if you're the one always looking to bring somebody down, if you're the one looking jittery because somebody else is trying to win, you're not a champion. You are a victim. You are a victim. Champions help others to succeed. Champions commit to training, and they commit to the training of the best of teachers. So if one of the best ways to see people who are champion, even if you don't see any trophy, is that their commitment to training, to becoming the best at what they do. That's somebody who is a champion. They become the best and they commit to training. When others are sleeping, they are training. When others are playing, they are training. And they go for the best of teachers to train them. That is a champion. That is a champion. If your child is always the one trying to sit somewhere to study, to commit to something, that child has that mind to become a great person. So champions fight to win, and they train. They commit to training. They commit to everything that that will make them become the best at what they do. So good evening. My name is Kwabena. I'm talking about champions' mind. Champions' mind. Every now and then we meet people who feel like life has beaten them. Some of them who even be very young, but you see that they talk like there is no hope for tomorrow. They talk like they are waiting for another person to give them a hand. They talk like they have no energy to go to the next stage of life. They feel like life has beaten them. That is not the problem, is not the challenges that they are facing, but the problem is of the mind, how they see themselves and how they see the problems that they are facing. If you're a champion, you are not worried about the challenges that come. You're rather worried about you not becoming bigger than the challenges that you meet. So it's not the problems in the family, it's not the problems that you meet at workplace, it's not the problems that you meet in the business. It's rather, are you a champion? Do you think as one? Do you believe that you are equipped to deal with those challenges? Do you see yourself as having the capacity to be in charge? If you don't see yourself like that, you are a victim. And victims don't become victorious. It's the one who is a champion, who gets up to fight. No matter how many times they are punched down, they get back to fight. They get back to fight, and they eventually win. And so champions are not the ones sitting down to complain and crying and weeping and looking for everybody to come and console them. If you're like that, you are trying to go everywhere to explain the difficulties that you're going through, to tell people to accept the fact that you have a challenge, you have a problem, it's a difficulty, and you cannot do anything about it. You are not thinking as a champion. The champion looks at the situation, they analyze it, and they want to say that, yes, this is a problem, but I have what it takes to deal with it. Even if I don't have what it takes now, I will train to come back and fight it and win, because they always want to win. That is a champion's mind. That's a champion's mind. And they look into themselves to know that which they have not developed, and they develop that. They are not the ones sitting down to complain and fight and cry. No. And many people are like that because of the culture, because of how they were trained, the ways that they were trained with, the fact that they grew up being told, don't do this, don't do that, you don't have that, you cannot go to that. We are not those people who go, we don't like trouble. Families who tell their people that our family, we don't like trouble, we don't like shame. Who likes shame? Who likes trouble? We want to fight and we want to win. And so you cannot win in this life if you don't want problem at all, if you don't want controversy, if you don't want challenges, you don't want. But champions move into those things. They go to fight. They move. Where the fire is, they go. Where the attention is, they want to be there. Those are the people who win in this life. They are always looking for a win, and they jubilate. They know that they have what it takes to look for the fight and to win. And so if you are the kind who is always looking for, looking at your own you are very, you can be respectful, you can be calm, but then the fire in you cannot be calm when it comes to solving problems, when it comes to getting results, when it comes to building things, when it comes to going for growth, for going for expansion. You cannot be the one who does not want trouble. The trouble that you don't want is the evil. You don't want to be the one cheating, you don't want to be the one stealing, you don't want to be the one killing the other person. That's the trouble that you don't want. But there's a trouble that you have to get the problem solved. There's a trouble for you to have to build the business. There's some trouble that you have to build that company, to build that family, to pass that exam, to finish that project. There are legitimate troubles that you cannot stay away from. So when you say that you don't want trouble, it means the evil side that you don't want, the sin side, that which is not good. But there are legitimate troubles, problems in things between you and your vision, between you and the successes that you want. You cannot be the one who is staying back and not want trouble because that you're sober, you have told you to be very calm. No, you go for it. If you are not the ones who wants to always be the one complaining. When you meet people, you always complain about the problem. No, you're a victim if you think like that. You're a victim, and victims don't win. Victims don't become anything in this life. It's those who think as they have the capacity, the strength, the gift, the talent to go at it and win. Look at the best of footballers. They don't feel like they can score. They never feel like that. The best of the footballers that you know, look at anywhere, Asian, those, Mutari, those guys, they know that they have what it takes to score. That's why they play in the major league, So in life, if you are going to play in the major league, in any aspect of your life, you have to know that you have what it takes to win. And then you commit to training, you commit to developing yourself. So lack and poverty can kill your spirit. And a lot of people have been numb, have been crippled, have been sidelined because of the background that they are coming from. The poverty can break a man's spirit, the lack can break a man's spirit, but you don't have to. You just switch the mind to say that life is tough enough, so I have to go at it, I have to fight. And so when it comes to a point that you don't have anything to eat, you're not the one sitting in your room crying. No, use it as a tool, as a fire to get to the next stage. You don't cry because they said that they have fired you from the job. No, use that opportunity to rebuild your life. Champions are not the one. Champions make the best of every situation, even if it's very bad situation. They fired you, they took away the business has trouble. Use that situation to rebuild yourself and to rebuild something else. So whatever that people have taken from you, use that situation to rebuild. And that's how champions think. Don't worry about the shame. Don't worry about what people say. When a champion is, those who run, when they are running, they are looking at the time. They have trained, I have to do this under 10 seconds. So when they are going, they are not looking at the other guy. They are looking at, when I was training, I was able to do this under 8 seconds, under 20 seconds. And so I want to do better than the one I trained. And if I know that the last record was 8 seconds, and now I am able to do 7, I've won. They want to set the record against themselves. They're fighting for themselves, and they are not worried so much about what the other guy is doing. They are trying to get the best out of themselves, and that is how champions think and see situations. So if you're the one getting nosy in everybody's situation, you are a victim. You are looking for people's story, people's bad story, and you are the one trying to be inquisitive, and you are the one gossiping around. Your mind is a victim's mind. You cannot win in this life behaving like that. No matter what position they give you, you will go there and destroy everything because you're not a champion. Champions focus on the goal. They focus on the racing. They focus on getting the victory. They focus on the prize on the victory, on the reward that they will get. That is how some champions think, and that's how champions see life. The other ones who don't think like that are the ones who are looking everywhere. Can you imagine you are going for this boxing and you are the one looking at everywhere and the other guy is beating you? No, champions focus on the agenda. They focus on the reason and they want to win. That's how they have focus. Champions have focus. They train themselves to focus to win. And so is life. You train yourself to focus to win. To focus to win in your profession, to focus to win in the school, to focus to win in the business that you want to do or you're doing. Anything that you set, the project, you focus to win and you become the best at it. So champions are not the one trying to get every nonsense, they don't have the data of every nonsense that goes around in the city. No, they get the data to help them to win. That's how champions fight. And so they eventually they expect to win. They don't go into the fight they know that they are going to lose. No, they go into the fight knowing that I have what it takes and I've had the right training and they have the right focus, the right setup, the right frame of thinking to win. So champions look for that. Champions look for that. And they don't feel like they're incapable at all. They feel like they have what it is. They believe in themselves, they believe in their talent, and they believe in the gift that they have. They know that there's a reason why they are doing what they are doing. And they must win. And they know that they win only not for themselves, they also win for their generation. They win for their people. They win for their community. They win for their family. They win. So they know that when they are winning, the whole country is behind them, the whole community is behind them, the whole family is looking up them. So they win to also inspire others to win, and that if they can go through these stages and win, everybody else can also do the same if they commit to the same process. So that's how champions look at life. They look at life from different point of view than the other one who feels like is a victim. So victims look at life from the point of injustice against them, but champions look at life from the point of injustice against others and what they can do to help them. Victims look at why people are not helping them and why everybody is against them. The champion looking at how can I help people? What can I do to establish people? What is it that I can do to lift people up? That's the champion. The victim is waiting for somebody to lift them up. Even if you lift them, they will still be the one going around to complain. And champions celebrate others. They are grateful. They show gratitude. They are the one who are going the extra step to push people to get better, because they are not in competition with people. They are competition with themselves, with their dreams, with how they become better. That is how a champion thinks. So you can recondition your mind to think like that. That you're a champion, you're not a victim. You are the one who can get the results. You are the one who can deliver. You are the one who can commit to the training and train until you become an expert, excellent in what you do. And so there are people who think like that. And every day you have to encourage them, you have to pump them, you have to push them, because they have not switched their mind to see the life, to see themselves as champions of life. They see themselves as victims, and they are one telling you what they have endured and what they continue to go through. They suck energy. When you finish talking to them, you feel like giving up on them, But when you get somebody, in spite of all the difficulties, they are the one lifting themselves, and when you talk to them, you feel like you are even encouraged. That man is a champion. And if they get the right tools, they will win. And they are the ones always going for the right tools to win in this life. So champions think differently. Champions win. Champions help others. Champions are the ones always people look up for. Nobody is looking for the victim. If when people have problems, when people meet difficulties, they are not looking for the one who is complaining. They are not looking for the one who is looking for help. They are looking for the one who can help them. And that's why champions become relevant. And that's why the other one who is complaining and crying and whining, the one who is always making noise and talking badly about situations, about people, that one has a mind which is of a victim. They think like they think as they are incapable. And if you think like that, you will never win with your life. Not on the big scale. Because you are not a fool. You don't have the energy, you don't have the strength of character to keep going. Because life is tough. And all people know that life is not a joke. And so when you know that you're a champion, you accept the fact that you have to fight to win. You have to fight to win, not only for yourself, but to win for others, to win for your country, to win for everybody. So you are the one looking to get better, and better, and you don't have time for the ones who are complaining all the time, because life is for the one who wants to fight and win. It's not the one who does not want to fight at all. They want trouble. They don't want trouble. They don't want any challenge. And a lot of people are like that. They want sleek, nice, collected, calm, independent. They are somewhere calm. They don't want any challenge, no trouble. No, you don't. You cannot win life like that. You go for the fire. You go for the trouble. You continue on to cause disruption. Disturbances towards your goal, towards your project, towards the one that you want to have. You cannot build a nice family, a beautiful family, and you don't want any challenge. It doesn't work like that. There will be confrontation, there will be disagreement, there will be fight. You cannot build a successful business and you don't want trouble. You don't want to confront anybody. You don't want to fight with anybody. You don't want to let anybody go. No. There will be trouble. This is part of life. And so that is how champions look at that. And that's why situations don't overwhelm them, because they are prepared for whatever comes. And so that's a champion. So if you want to change the narratives of your life, the narratives of the family, the narratives of the business, then you have to look at it as you are the one capable of solving it. And you cannot solve it with a victim's mind. Not at all. You can never solve anything in this life when you think like you are a victim. Champions don't think like that. Champions always think that they are the one responsible to get the results, to get everything. And so my name is Kwabena. I am talking about champion's mind. Champion's mind. When you think like that, you cannot be the one thinking as a victim. You never think like a victim. You think always knowing that you have what it takes to get to the next stage, to get to the next level, to let people see that it is possible. It is possible. They are not the ones not wanting to lose. The champion is not the one looking at not wanting to lose. The champion is the one looking at beating the record. Beating the record. They go for the mark. They go for the top goal. They are not the ones trying to hey, if I pass anything, I'm okay. Champions don't behave like that. Champions are the one looking to challenge the status quo, to take on the bullet and to go and fight. They are confrontational. They confront the problem. They are not the ones running away from the challenges. So if you are the one always looking for way out, looking for complaining, crying, talking about yourself and how life is difficult for you, what you don't know is that you have developed a victim's mind. You don't think that you have what it takes to win in this life. That's why you're always complaining. So it doesn't matter the challenge that you face, it doesn't matter the problems that you're confronted with. If you have the mind of a champion, you go in knowing that you are the one to solve the problems. And you look beyond just yourself. The champion's mind is always looking to win, always to win. The champion is not the one crying, he's not the one weeping, he's not the one cursing people that they didn't help them. No, and my brother didn't even mind me when I needed help. You're a victim if you think like that. Your brother should be the one looking for you to help you. Because champions understand the philosophies of life, that you don't win crying for help. You win by going against the challenge. So the other thing is that a lot of people are looking for help from God. That's a victim's mind. You go to God for help. You're a victim. When you're a champion, you are the one solving problems for God. So sometimes you can be conditioned, and the psyche, whether you think as a champion or you think as a victim, is coming from how you were brought up. If they told you, when you're growing, they told you that you had what it takes to fight. They believe in you, that you had what you will be successful. They believe in your intelligence. They believe in your gift. They believe in your talent. They express that in you. You will grow with a better, with a healthy, good esteem, because they believe in you. If you're the one who grew up in lack and poverty and nobody trusted you, nobody believed in you, nobody expected anything from you, you carry the same thing as an adult until you get conscious of it to change it. So they assume confidence. Champions assume confidence. They They have the ability to focus on the goal to win. They have the attitude to make the right decision. They commit to training. Champions are not the ones always training and not going for the fight. They train and then they go and attack. So sometimes somebody wants to build business and then they do the document, they prepare everything, but they never start the business. You are not a champion. You go to fight because you win on the battlefield. It's not when you just write. You go, you start to do the business. You start to apply what you have learned. And that's how champions think. They try to, they put to work what they have learned. And that's why they are champions. That's why they win. You cannot train and never go to war. You never win the war. So whatever that they train with, they apply. Whatever they plan with, they apply. And they always think of the winning eventually. They win. They win, and they celebrate the little wins. They are not the ones who take little wins for granted at all. They celebrate what they win all the time, and they celebrate the winnings of others. When other people win, they are there to thank them, to be happy. They are grateful, they are thankful, they are appreciative of what people gave them when they were training. So champions are different. So if you don't think like champion, life will overwhelm you. Life, you complain. You be the one always complaining and crying and thinking that somebody else is responsible for your mess. The champion does not think that somebody else is responsible for his mess. He is responsible for his mess. And so he can always correct it. He can always fight back. He can always go with the right training and win. Go to the fight and win. So champions are made on the field. When they fight, they go to fight. So thank you very much for watching. It's a bit late, and I've talked about champions' mind, that you cannot win in this life if you think as a victim. So never think like a victim. Don't think, no matter the situations of life, never think like you are a victim. You are never a victim. Accept that you have what it takes to win. You have what it takes to go and win. You are endowed by God to go and win. So you only feel like a victim because you were conditioned to feel like somebody else should always help you. Somebody else should always come to your aid. And you are not going for anybody's aid. And when they say that we don't want trouble, it does not mean that you don't want trouble that gives you victory. It means that you don't want to cheat people, lie to people, create the problems for people. You are not the one trying to break the laws that affect people, but you want to get into the fire to get your goals done, to get the business built, to get the family built, to get the profession, to get to the money. You are not afraid of the controversies around the positions that they have given you. You are ready to go and deliver and handle all the people there. That is how champions think. And champions never feel bitter. Even those who gave them a lot of tough time and difficulties, they never feel bitter. They never feel like, they think that those things were used as tools to develop themselves. They were used as training tools to develop themselves. So they never the one feeling like they want to be vindictive. They want to go and fight and kill the other guy who gave them opposition. Champions are not like that. Champions are made to be appreciative of everything that created the victory, that created the winnings in life. So thank you very much. It's a bit late. Thank you very much for watching, Isaac. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much.